Hi, Collector's Corner here. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Age of the Primes, the 13 Alpha Trion. He's in this box, so let's take a look. Got the 22 steps, robot to jet. Well, technically he's some kind of flying spaceship, but okay. 8 plus. Has a nice picture of his flying thing mode right there. Robot mode with his book and his quill. Trion inside, 13. Age of the Primes, Voyager class. On the top, again to all one. On the back, it's accessories, quill, book, robot mode, all these features there. 22 steps. The other side, nice image of him writing in his book, same one on the front. Yeah, on the top, just Alpha Trion. There he is. So yeah, let's take him out of the box and see what he does, shall we? So here is Alpha Trion in his robot mode, right out of the box, and he's looking pretty nice. Let's get in close to his head. There is his head. Nice white mustache and blue eyes. It's supposed to be a younger version of Alpha Trion. Yeah, nice face. Small beady blue eyes. His horn there. It's like two horns. Top. Does get a silver chest. Silver dab there in the middle. The Autobot symbol in his abs. Blue belt buckle. Gray legs. Purple shins. No paint there. Silver feet with blue heels. Pretty nice. Does have some metallic pink accents on his arms, both arms. On the back, you get just some tape here formed from the alt mode parts, cockpit and the fuselage, I guess. Some silver detailing. Yeah. All in all, pretty clean. Not too much backpack. It's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty good. Articulation-wise, and this is where he excels at, except for one small glaring flaw, but we'll get to it. Head, you can look up. Well, technically, you can fold back, but yeah, do that. You can look down. That's part of the gimmick feature, if you want, if you will. You can look down on the neck. Can rotate all the way around. It doesn't have that much of a side to side. But yeah, look down very nicely. Shoulders rotate all the way around. They move out that far. Not really all that much. His shoulder pads can move up and down independently. He does have a bicep swivel. He gets over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, pretty deep. Nothing at the wrist, and here is the main complaint I have with this figure, because everything else is great, but he gets no wrists, which would have made him even greater. I don't know why no wrists. In any case, the wrists can move in for transformation, and his hands, oh, can't see that, in for transformation, all the way, and his fingers can open and close. And that's it. He does get, interestingly enough, an ab crunch. He can crunch forward very far. And if you fold up his cape here, you can actually crunch back. Yeah. But without wrists, this is kind of useless, because all the poses look weird if you can't actually turn his wrists. I mean, he does have a waist swivel, very nicely. You rotate that up, because otherwise it kind of gets in the way. But it is there. His skirts here can flip up to accommodate movement, and he can kick forward all the way, well, that far. He can kick back that far. He can do the full splits and a bit more. He does have a thigh swivel, slightly over 90 degrees of knee bend. His toes can't really move up, but can point down. They're very tight. His heels can move down. And he does have all of the ankle tilt there. Right? Cool. A lot of ankle tilt. So yeah, you can get really interesting poses with the ab crunch. You can do all sorts of that. But yeah, he's very poseable, surprisingly enough. But unfortunately, due to the lack of wrists, some look weird. Come on. Well, anyway, you can actually get him in a lot of poses. You know. Anyway, accessories. He's got a few. First thing he gets, and they're packaged separately, so I count them as accessories. Are these little nubs? These are little shoulder spike nubs. He gets 2 of them, and you can install them on his shoulders like so. It's kind of hard to get out afterwards, but yeah, like so. And now he gets some shoulder spikes. Look interesting. The instructions suggest for certain things you can move them from the shoulder to the forearm for whatever reason. You can do that. But yeah, they're supposed to be on the shoulder. He does get his shield cape part, whatever you want to call this. And yeah, you can open it up like so. Rotate this peg to the back. Close it back up. There. Close it back up. And he gets sort of a shield he can use. Take this large peg and tab it into the port on his arm, and this small hole will tab into this peg there. So like so. And then he has a shield he can, protect himself with, like that. But otherwise, damn, the shield doesn't hold. Otherwise, you can tab it into the back, right there on his butt. You have to open up the shield, rotate the peg to the other side, close it up again, like so, and then use that slot to tab in to that tab, and the peg will go into the port, the screw hole right there. So take it and do that, like so. And now you fold this back, and supposedly this is supposed to peg in, these 2 tabs. But yeah, it just kind of sits there. And there he is with his butt flap pegged in. He also comes with his book of Primus, I think. And yeah, it's actually got pages you can open. This page, it's the other side, like so. A lot of Cybertronian writing. And the other page, Cybertron, right there. And if I can get the light right, it has a tape deck. Tape deck with a stop, with a record, play, stop, pause, and forward button. This is supposed to be like a Pokédex with a tape deck there. Interesting. All the detailing. Hard to see because of the translucent red plastic. Yeah. That is his book. It's pretty interesting little book. He can hold the book in his hand by this peg. So we can read the book, like so. And the last accessory he has is his quill. It's a nice little quill. Some feathery detailing there. Nothing at the tip, just a blunt tip. And yes, you can hold it on the other hand by sliding it between his thumb and his palm, like so. Those fingers around it, and then he can grab his quill and try to write. Since he doesn't have any wrists, this looks kind of awkward. But yeah, he can sort of do that and try to write in his book. Very awkwardly. But yeah, all in all, cool accessories. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the quill and the book, but they are there. Oh, one last accessory he does have. Let's see, Autobot logo in his abs can be removed from his abs, and it's very, very small Autobot logo. There it is. Really, really tiny. Nicely detailed silver for the outside of the logo and the eyes. Very nice. And it does have a peg there, Midicon peg. You can plug it in his hand. You can hold it. Give it to someone. Yeah, I suppose. You can tap it onto his arm per the instructions. Oh. Like so. Got an Autobot logo on his arm. But yeah, see, it's very tight. Basically, it lives in his abs. Yeah. And that is it for his accessories. That's the last of the accessories he gets. And I do like him. He's a lot of fun. So now for some comparisons. We'll spec this up. For comparisons, here he is with, of course, Optimus Prime. He's a bit shorter. Looks pretty nice, Prime. Here he is with my only Orion packs. I do not own any other Orion packs. Power of the Prime's Orion packs. And they're about the same height, interestingly enough. He is with my Siege Megatron, because I still have not been able to get a Studio Series Megatron. And yes, Megatron is taller, but he is a leader, so instead of Voyager. Yeah. And last but not least, and only because you're going to see him in jet mode, here he is with the Earthrise Seeker mode. Pretty much about the same size, a bit taller at the head and the horns there, but yeah, about the same general height. And here he is with Micronus in his Apex Armor mode here. Yeah, he's a bit shorter, but he's supposed to be. He's a Lux, he's Voyager. Yeah. That's it for comparisons. Then we'll be moving on to transformation after the break. Hi, if you're liking this video so far, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. It really helps us out. Thank you. And now back to the review. So we're back, and let's get into transformation. Transformation is not too difficult. So you want to fold out his shoulder pads, you want to close out his fingers, and fold in his fists, and pull up his arms, like so. And you want to pull out his shins here, or his knee pads, all the way out, like so. You want to close up his heels, fold down his feet. Then you want to rotate his legs out, like so. And then we'll tap in, like like so. Yeah, it's a bit tight. And like so. And you can now rotate. I want to fold up this bit. Rotate his waist all the way around. And then you want to open up the cockpit section here. Fold back his head all the way. And fold in this panel through to cover his face. And you want to rotate his torso at the aperture back, all the way back, like so. And you can now fold this section down. Oh, you want to rotate these forward, like so, and like so. And then fold it in all the way, like so. And it'll tab in. You can now close the cockpit. You want to rotate his arms forward, and they do have a port there that will tab in to that tab, and this peg will slot in to that slot. So what we'll do, tab it in. Same thing on the other side, rotate, hold down, tab it in, slot it in, like so. And then you want to open up the wings here with one panel. You want to remove it, just extend them. They will use that slot to tab into that tab on his arm, and that little tab will sit in there. Like so, and like so. And the other side, have it in, like so, and like so. And there is Orion Pax in his very purple spaceship mode. It's an interesting spaceship mode. Yeah. He does get little tabs here, as little landing skiffs, if you will, and these two sections here for the back. So you can sit him down, and he'll be balanced right there. There he is in his jet mode, or spaceship mode, whatever you want to call it. It's very nice. Very, very Cybertronian. And you can take his accessories, his little book here, and they'll tab in to that tab right there via that slot, and the peg will go in between his legs, like so. Tab in, and the quill, you want to tab it into those tabs, that tab or that tab on the other side. Fits better on this side. How the tip of the quill fits in the cutout there, right there, and that cutout. So you want to tab, use that slot on the quill for that tab, like so. Not the easiest thing. Come on. There it is. Decided to tab in, so there it is, tabbed in the book. Yeah. There he is. It is in complete spaceship mode. Very nice. No wheels, no anything, so spin, but he can't do anything else on the ground. Yeah. Pretty nice. One feature he does have in this mode is the opening cockpit. So you pull out the canopy here. It has space there for a not Micromaster, a Titan Master. Here is Rodimus Prime from the set, from the Siege and Cybertron set, which I have not completed. But, no, okay, it's not the Velocitron set, sorry. Which I've not finished reviewing, but stay tuned, I will finish that. can sit him in here somehow. It's kind of awkward because the space is not really there, but you should be able to maybe kneel him in there. Close the cockpit. Yeah, you can sit in there. His feet kind of stick out the bottom because otherwise the cockpit will not close. There's no other way to do this. I mean, maybe just do that. Very laid down. Yeah, sort of close the cockpit with him in there. And tapping the rope again. Just fell off. There. There it is. Yes. Got a pilot. So, that is it for features in this mode. Now move on to comparisons. So, for comparisons, here it is with Optimus Prime. Yeah. It's large. Here he is with Micronus. He's on unicycle mode. Here he is with Megatron. This is siege tank mode. Again, quite a bit larger. And here is with a, oh shit, sorry about that, Earthrise Seeker mode, Voyager class as well. Quite a bit larger, interestingly enough. Quite a bit larger. But of course, he doesn't have that much articulation in comparison to this guy. Or the features, or the accessories. So yeah, all in all, this is a really nice toy, just missing the wrist articulation. For whatever reason, has not said it not to give him wrists. He does look good in many poses. He can actually move around quite a bit. Yeah, I do like him. It's a really nice toy. You should go get him. I'll put a link in the description and in the pinned comment below. We'll be affiliated, so please, if you do want this guy and want to buy him, please use that link. It will help us out a lot. It's an Amazon link, so go to there. And yeah, I thank you for watching. Please follow us on Patreon, follow us on Blue Sky. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff down below. Remember to ring the bell to get notified of future videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. This was Collector's Corner, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Rotten Pax. Data clerk. A robot barely alive. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him better than he was. Better. Stronger. Faster. This is...